What's going on YouTube? In this video, I want to talk about the kinds of business models that you should absolutely 100% avoid at all costs if you want to have a good business experience online. What do I mean by that? Business models that are solely dependent on a specific website, you should avoid them like the plague. Real quick, if you haven't already booked a free call with me or one of my team members below, recommend you do that. And on that call, we'll simply figure out where you're at, give you a bunch of free advice to point you in the right direction, and also see if it makes sense to work with us. So if you're looking to get pointed in the right direction, I highly recommend you book that free call. Super low pressure call. We do not hard sell on our calls because the last thing I want is someone in one of my programs who isn't 100% ready. You've got to come in when you're good and ready, when you know you need help. If you don't know you need help, then we're not for you. I can't stress this enough. Avoid platform businesses. What do I mean by that? Any business model where you have to go and be on a platform, you're putting yourself at risk. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but you should understand that every day you wake up, you are at risk of losing it all because that platform can be fickle as fuck. They can do whatever they want. If the platform customer service rep is having a bad day that day, they can screw up your account, setting you back weeks, if not months. For example, if you were to go sell on Amazon right now, Amazon looks like a great business model. It has a lot of pros to it. You can go list items on Amazon. They'll fulfill all the shipping. They'll do all the fulfillment, everything. All you had to do was go get the product and ship it to their warehouse. That's great. They'll handle all the customer service. But what if they don't like a specific category that you want to list? Or what if they just suddenly one day don't like your account and what you're selling? Or you get too many customer service complaints, or whatever happens. They can terminate your account for as long as they want, and you'll be out of work for that whole period of time, desperately trying to either start a new account or change business models. This is why I ultimately got into freelancing, closing, setting. I didn't want to put all of my eggs into these platforms. It was giving them too much power over my income and my livelihood. So if you're gonna do platform-based business models, you've got to make sure you're diversifying. That's why, not that I'm super obsessed with what the rich say and how like you need 7 flows of income, but the higher you climb, you'll start to kind of realize that. That's why they diversify all their stuff, because it just lowers and lowers the risk. They'll have a business killing it over here, have another one over here. If one of them goes down for a while, they don't care because they have this other one running. And it's very similar to what I'm talking about here. Is you want to make sure you have multiple flows just in case. And you should always be in the mindset too of figuring out what will you do if that worst case situation happens? How will you fix it? Because you're an entrepreneur, you fix stuff. Another reason too that you should avoid these platforms is because they normally charge a fee. Now, if it's a reasonable fee, then it's okay. It's the cost of doing business, but they will charge you a fee. If you take your business offline, essentially, like with a cold email business that I preach, you don't have any fees and you have unlimited clients you can go get. Think about it. If you were doing email copywriting, which I highly suggest you're doing, all you have to do to get new work is go cold email. That's all you have to do. The client takes on all the risk. If their brand shuts down, if anything bad happens in their business, you don't have to go through the pain in the ass of trying to figure out how to get new accounts set up. That was your only flow. No, you just go cold email and get another client. The top people at the top, they can't ban all the accounts at once. So you're able as a freelancer to move around and get clients wherever they are. And they're everywhere. There's millions of them. But that individual business owner, when they get absolutely fucked, you're good. You just take a step back and go find some more clients. It's that easy. And that's again why I got into this kind of business model. And I also recommend you look at email copywriting, inbound closing, setting as your foundational business model. Because you can always go do e-commerce, go do trading, go run ads on these platforms, and that's great business. It's great passive flow. Like if you get an e-commerce store set up, it's great just having the sales rolling. You don't got to really deal with any customers except customer service, but you're not having to talk to people. It's lower transaction value, just quick sales. You go do affiliate marketing or you run ads on some sort of platform to a product. It's great because you're running ads. Customers come to the client or you on autopilot. That's a lot of fun. Or you go do trading. You go trade. Trading is one of the safest business models. You just trade. You're just predicting if the price will go up or down and making a bunch of money. But you're at the risk of that I guess trading would be an exception. You don't really have, there's not a lot of risk on your accounts for that stuff. But with trading, let's be real, I've mentioned this a lot of times on this channel, is the odds of you making that work are slim to none. If you think about it, 100% of people that go trade, probably 3% of them are making the real good money. And that 3% that are making the real good money, they're taking all the other people's money. So the 97% that do terrible, all their money goes away. The top 3% get all that money. And those top 3% had to work at minimum 3 years of studying and trial and error, paper trading, all that, to get to where they are mentally to actually trade at that level. So unless you're willing to sacrifice 2 to 3 years to learn trading, I recommend you don't do that and just start a business where you get paid for your work. And then you can slowly build your income, build your cash reserves, and then invest that money wherever the hell you want to invest it. That's how you should focus on all this. Growing your business is great, but you should always be thinking long-term. How do you plan on investing your money? Otherwise, you could have a great, $100,000 per year business. If you're not investing that, you're going to have a really hard time retiring, if you even want to retire. A lot of entrepreneurs I've noticed don't even care about retiring. They just want to work from the laptop. That's all they're really focusing on. That's great. Retirement is bullshit to a certain extent because you're going to be bored as hell just sitting around collecting that paycheck. You get bored. So you will want to pluck away at something even in those types of those years, your retirement years, but you still want to be focusing now on building business, building your cash cow, getting that up and running. Then you can invest later. I don't know why I got on the investment trail. It wasn't very relevant to this video. But again, avoid business models with platforms initially, like the plague. Don't get sucked in. They're super tempting to want to get involved with because they get fast results, easy results. But those results aren't a lot. I saw a post the other day of an e-commerce guy flexing, I just made $200 this morning, right? $200 in revenue. How much did he actually profit after buying the inventory, shipping to them, all the sales that he made that didn't work out? What's the shipping cost? What's the inventory cost? All that. How much did he really make? With email copywriting, you're making basically 100% of the money. It's a service-based business. Instead of you working at the office, you're working at your house. With inbound closing, if you sell a $3,000 item, you make $300. For appointment setting, if you set a call that ends up converting, you make anywhere from about 3% all the way up to as high as 10% on that sale. If you're at the 3% range, you're going to make a retainer as well. You should be getting paid a monthly retainer from your client if you're that low on commission for appointment setting. If you're up at 10% appointment setting, you don't really need a retainer. But obviously, you got to make the math work out for you. You should be focusing on, if you're appointment setting, you should be focusing on a range that you want to make every month. If you're not making that and you're fully booked out and you're booking tons of calls and you're not making that, 4 to 10K a month, 9K a month, if you're not making that and you're fully booked out, you're working your ass off, you might want to look for another gig. If you're not making that because you only have half the leads you need to keep you busy for a week, right? You're only working half of the week, then you need to go find another client. And maybe you have 2 clients for your appointment setting for. Anyway, again, make sure to book that free call below if you'd like to chat with me or one of my team members. We'll get you in the right direction. We'll clear up all the fog you have. And then 2, see if it makes sense to work together. Because honestly, you're either going to spend one of 2 things in this life. You're going to spend time or you're going to spend money. I've had countless people ping me saying that they've been trying to get email copywriting working out for 6 months to a year, sometimes as high as that. Like, what point do you kind of look for a system, there's got to be a point where you kind of understand that your system is not working. You might want someone to handhold you and get way faster results because all the information is out there on YouTube. You can go find all the information, but you're going to spend tons of time organizing it, finding the right information, actually getting information that works. It actually is working currently. It's not just theory. It takes a lot of time to sort through all that stuff. That's why me personally, I've spent shitloads on coaching because I didn't want to wait for all that. I just used my jobs to fund my education. That's what I recommend anyone. If you're at a spot where you want to spend a bunch of time on this, probably be more beneficial to get a job or even a part-time job just to make money so you can invest into your education, whether it's with me or with someone else, because that will speed up your time way faster and it will set you apart. Let's just say there's 1,000 people and only 50 out of the 1,000 people end up getting help. Those 50 are going to be way ahead of the 1,000 people, or I guess the 950 that didn't get any help and are, wasting years trying and failing, getting little results. That keeps them going, but then they get banned or they realize they aren't making any money, so they stop the whole business model and go do a new one. Anyway, you can also too get into our free Facebook group below if you want to network with people that are in your tribe. They have the same mentality as you. They want to get the hell out of their jobs. You can network with them in that group, and you'll get some free information there as well that you don't really see on this channel.